How's it going, guys? It's Uber Jack here with another video for you today, and this time we're just looking to talk about, as you can see from the description, how to get more tips on Uber. It's a funny one, really. They aren't going to be tips aren't going to be something you're going to get a lot of, to be fair. And I think traditional taxis, where cash is involved, they get a lot more tips because the transaction process happens in front of you, as opposed to the transaction process on this, and the tipping process happens away from the car, and that sort of scenario that happens. So it's up to the customer to sort of do that. So how do you get customers to tip you? Well, it's very easy. It really is. And yeah, you can see my tips there from the last sort of week. I haven't had a lot, to be honest with you. So you guys will probably think, what the hell is he on about? But just because I know how to get tips doesn't mean I've necessarily been doing that. You do have to be really chatty with people. I've been a bit ill this week, in all honesty. So chatting has been like, I just want to get out, do my work, and then go home. But if you can build rapport, I think that's one of the key words, rapport. If you can build rapport with customers, and if you can make sure that you're having a polite conversation, making sure your car is clean, pretty obvious stuff. But the key one is building a rapport with the customer, trying to have a conversation in terms of whatever comes up. There's not a specific conversation you have to have with each customer. Every customer is going to be unique, and that rapport that you build, that conversation that you have, is going to be unique. So that is what I have found anyway. The days where I don't really bother in terms of making an effort with conversations, I don't get no tips, or they're very rare. They're just because you maybe was polite, you turned up on time, which is sort of the baseline for getting tips, and your car was clean. But if you really go out of the way to make your customers maybe laugh, or anything that's outside of the box, you can expect tips. The best tip I ever had off a customer was £20. Couldn't believe it. And honestly, we had a great conversation. It was like a 30-minute trip as well, so it was paying well anyway. It's so bizarre sometimes, the people that you meet, strangers, and the conversations that you can have, and the almost the bond you can build with somebody just in that short period of time. I'm sure you guys that have done this before are fully aware of that, and have experienced that as well yourself. So it's that simple, guys. It really is. Give it a go this week or tonight or whenever you're watching this. Just try and have extra conversations, a bit more than you would have. There's going to be times where customers don't really want to speak to you, and that's fine. It's a bit of a skill to notice that. Once you do, just get the trip over with. That's all you need to do. When you notice though that they're sort of chatting, you might say, hi, how's it going? How's your day been? Oh, good, yeah, I went down. And they'll start offering sort of pieces of conversation to you that you can then use to say, oh yeah. And even if you got to tell little porky pies, oh yeah, I watched that film last week, it was great. It might end up getting you in a bit of trouble because I talk about it, but you can, squeeze little things like that in just to make the customer feel a bit more warm to you and welcoming. And then they're more likely to say, that guy was great, here's a tip. And you know what? You can see these tips here, £1, £2. That's all you really need to be aiming for with each customer. Get £1 off each customer. You're laughing. You really are. Say you do 100 jobs in a week, £100. Great. You're never going to get that though, guys, I'll be honest. Most I've probably had in a week must be, that week over Christmas where we had tips that were getting doubled. That incentivized customers to give tips then. They knew about that. I think I had about £90 in that week, but that was over Christmas too. So it's pretty rare. But just expect that tips won't be that frequent. It surprised me a little bit, to be honest with you, because I like to tip people if I get good service. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to have a conversation with them, and I have to build this rapport that I'm talking about. I'm just saying that if you do that, it definitely helps the situation. You want to sort of make your customer aware that, look, I am a nice guy, I'm polite, I'm friendly, and that's the things that are going to get you a tip most likely. So that's it for me, guys. I'm going to have a few videos coming up this week as well. I've had a little bit of a break, as I said. I've just not been too well, and videos have been just sort of at the back of the queue for these last sort of 10 days, but I'm going to smash out about 3 videos this week now. Here's one of them, and thank you for the continued support of everyone, and I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers.